Now it's on. Hello, hello. Okay. So, okay, we got eyeballs. Oof.
I was like, I did not know yet.
I'm like, oof. Is that Soph at the door?
Probably, but as soon as I open it, she's not going to come in.
Kitty, kitty.
See? Doesn't want it.
All right. So, today we are going to play with some Sizzix Greenery, and I used the Christmas wishes from this one and these little thingies here. I just ran out of time, otherwise I would have totally made some more stuff because there's some super cute things in there. And we have brought these in a little while ago from Mintay. They're called fancy cards. There's 20 sheets in here, and it's a really heavyweight card. They're 4.13, so they're a little bit, about 4 1/8 inches wide by 12 inches long. So literally if you cut an inch off, you have an A2 card. So just under width-wise.
A little bit smaller.
Just a hair. So it works perfectly in an A2 envelope. I'm going to share with you 3 ways to use these to make cards. So, that comes in white and craft. They have one that is just a scallop on the bottom, and then there is this one that has this more of a fun edge. Fancy edge. We had more of this one than we had of any other ones. That's why I chose this one. So, and 20 cards for $10. And like I said, they're a nice, heavy card base.
Nope, still doesn't want to come in.
All right.
She just keeps hitting the door.
So I'm going to start by just ripping one out. So we got Elizabeth is here, says hello. Is anybody else saying hello that we need to?
Jan.
And Jan. Also, the back side of the front cover is wood that you could use this as a template for, or you can just cut it out and make it a front of a card, and you're good to go on that one. Back side's the same, so kind of like a bonus piece. Look, you got one that's on 2 sides. Kind of cool. So I just ripped this out. I'm going to do this one as just a regular old top fold. So literally, I take it into... Do you have the other paper trimmer? No?
It's right here. Balancing on this pile of stuff.
Alrighty. So we're going to open this up. Literally, we're going to put it in. And this border edge here, we're going to line that up with the 11. And cut it off. Now, you have this little extra bit you can use for a layer. You could stamp on your sentiment, whatever. And now from here, you can either put it in your score pal, but since I have this one here, I am just going to then take my edge over here, line it up with the 5.5, and score. Because this is, it's heavy.
It's 300 GSM.
300 GSM, which is, Samuel's going to probably do the conversion so we can see what that is. I can tell you just like finger folding it, it's not going to stay flat. So you really do need to use your bone folder and burnish it to get a good crease there. So it is nice and heavy card. All right, now you're like, okay, what are you going to do with that? Well, for those of you that don't like to do a little fussy cutting, you could literally just lay in a piece of cardstock and cut it off and have that little bit of a border on the bottom. I, on the other hand, decided that I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut that bottom.
It says 140 pounds.
So it's 140 pounds. That's pretty good. So I'm just going to line up. So I cut this pattern paper to 5 5/5, so just under 5.5 by 4, because then that gives me about 1/8 of an inch border around my edges here. So I kind of just lay it where looks pretty even. Actually, I'm going to take it to the going to put my border edge on the edge of my cardstock there and then center it. So you can see I'm kind of centered here and here. Elizabeth, 5 3/8. 5 3/8. So it's the line just below the 5.5. So I'm just lining it up here like so. So I have my edges there and I'm pretty even side to side. If you want, you can tape it in place just to make sure that while you're cutting, it doesn't, or while you're drawing your pencil line, it doesn't. I'm using a white chalk pencil just because of it's easier to see on camera, and it is also easier to see on the dark green. I can tell you that is a little bit thicker than a regular pencil, so you do need to make sure you cut on the opposite, on the right. I'll show you. Like words, please. All right. I stuck. All right. So then you can see. Now I am just going to cut, but I'm not going to cut on the line. I'm going to cut on this side of the line. So that way I know that I'm going to make it a little bit smaller to go with my borders.
All right, cover weight is close to 110 pounds.
All right, so it's close to 110 pound.
Cover weight.
Cover weight. Well, yeah. So, as you can see, it is not very difficult to just go in and cut that. And it doesn't take all that long. So, and now I can just lay it on, and it gives me that little border of edge like I have on all my edges all the way around, and it looks like it's almost the same. Pretty easy, right? So I am going to just glue this down. How easy. If you are like, there's a little bit of a white edge showing in there, if that bothers you, you can certainly use do a little ink blending over the edge, you know, like your distress brown or gray or whatever color you desire. Make sure that I'm up here so you can see that I am just centering the best that I can. All right, so now at this point, you can use it as a card like this, opens like so, or you can do it as the top fold. And because it is even on the bottom there, you can set it up. Glue decided to go all over. All right. See how easy that was? So don't be afraid of these. They're super easy to do that, a quick little cut there. All right, I'm going to put that one to the side because I did this paper, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to make this into a card. So this is the 4x6 cut apart sheet, cards, whatever, but I really like the plaid on the back, and you're going to see how I create. Oh, Sam's going to finish this one. Why did I take the lid off of this one when I already had a lid off of one? I don't know either some days. So I am just going to add this. I did the same exact thing along the bottom with the, I traced it and fussy cut. And I'm just lining it up on there. There we go. All right. Then from this die set, I cut out a bunch of greenery. So these are really nice because the base pieces are really, you cut it once and you got most everything, and then I went back. They actually have, this piece here has a whole bunch of the little dots, so I cut those in red to add on top of my greenery there. And there is this piece here. I just did that in another shade of green and laid it in really easy. So,
do we have any navy in here?
No. I did have one little piece, but it wasn't really a good navy for what I was using. It wasn't dark enough.
Yeah, I need a dark navy.
Yeah, it's this one. And it wasn't dark enough. So, and then for this one, this little flower here is this die, and I die cut it twice out of red and then once out of the dark green, and laid it on this smaller little swirl piece here. And no, you're good. And then again, I added that little leafy vine there in a darker green on top of that olive there. And I had leftover little center, like circles, and put those in the center for my little poinsettia. So I'm like, once I opened the set and started die cutting it, it looks fussy, but it's not. And I love that because I love the look of all the fussy die cutting, but this isn't fussy at all. So
kind of plans your way out for you.
it really is great. And it's, so I'm like, was very excited I chose this one. But I am going to kind of lay this out so I know where to glue my little strip, because this is longer and I want it, so when I put this up just a hair here, like so. So, yeah, I'm like, this may be my Christmas cards because I had a lot of fun. There was not a lot of fussy die cutting, yet it looks fussy. And
See how many times you say that this year.
I don't know how many times. Let's count.
Time number 1.
Alrighty.
Just a little tally sheet.
And Sam's going to start a tally sheet. Then this one is from that other die set, the Christmas Wishes, and I did it in gold and in red, and I'm going to layer the two. So,
You have any gold left?
yeah, I do. So I'm just going to dot the back. I don't want it to be overly glued so that it doesn't go on my shiny gold too much. Because, you know, when I spread it, it'll go outside. Or you could do a trick that Pete does from Sizzix and do a little puddle of glue and then tap it into. There. All right, so I'm going to just shadow it with the gold.
There we go. We're back.
We're back. Sorry about that. So basically, the only thing you missed was me gluing the red Christmas wishes onto the gold for a little bit of a shadow. I will tell you the only thing I don't like about this Christmas wishes is that the dot for the tittle for the eye is not attached. So, and hopefully I can still find it because I know I had it over here to the side, but I've kind of smooshed things around a couple times, so we'll see.
I'm missing a lot on this side.
So I'm going to put down my Christmas wishes first and see if I can. I'm going to go ahead and put a little dot here so that well, there's a little dot here, but that one looks too small.
All right, sounds.
No, I don't want to use the rhinestone. I'll use this one. My glue dot is just way, my glue is way too big for this. Let's take off some. Alright, so I'm going to just push my little tittle here where I want it. Luckily this glue dries pretty matte. Now I lost it. Huh. Oh, it's on my finger. Alright, there we go. Okay. I have a little foam dot here, but I'm going to go ahead and add glue to these. Bless you.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay, and then add in there again. I'm just going to add little dots here and there. I want it to be kind of like loose and flimsy, not flimsy, loose, so that, and floaty, I guess. Float? I don't know how it. I want it to be like it has a lot of texture. Flowy. And then there's this cute little bird in this set, so I cut it out and did put it together too. And I'm going to just do this one is a thinner foam than what I used behind the poinsettia.
I lost my tittle.
Uh-oh. And I'm going to just put that down here behind my Christmas here. And so it's sitting right there. So, woo. Are we still good?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
yeah,
I don't
stop showing your screen.
That's showing on my screen there. So
I've seen some last me. Sneezing.
There you go.
Thanks, Chris.
Look at how, I mean, simple yet impressive that looks. Okay. So that was the easy card. Not that these other ones are any more difficult. So basically with this one,
It's just more steps, isn't it?
I'm going to show you how I made it into a gift card holder. So basically that piece that we cut off before, we're going to just score. So let me grab and so on the first one, we just cut off 1 inch. This one, we're actually going to leave that inch on there. We're going to score at 5.5. Make sure you're using the score, not the cutting one. And then we're going to move it up to the 5.5 there, which would actually make it 11. Stopping me here. So we're going to move the score line up to 5.5. And we're going to give it a nice little score there. So now you have your 5.5 from that edge, and then 5.5 from that score line, so at 11. And then, remember I said this is super heavy cardstock, so you are going to want to burnish it with your bone folder. And then there you go. And then I just added a little bit. You can use, I used my Nuvo glue and did a little line here, a little line here, and then I closed it and I actually held it for a couple, like maybe a minute, just to make sure that the glue was in place and dry so it doesn't flip open again. And then I just did the same thing as I did before and traced and cut my little scallop. This one is a 4x6 cut apart sheet, and I literally just cut off the words part and did this. This bow is super cute from this set. It's all on one die, but it does do the bow and then the second bow and then the little dot for the middle. So it's very dimensional with but a super easy cut. And then I did one of the bigger with a little swirly. I added some of the red berries that I cut. It does have a die that cuts these pieces to add a little extra. And then the berries. Now this set does come with the berries, but I did use the berries from here because I liked how it had more. It was a little longer stem. I know, but you could do it with that either way. And then this one here is so.
Christine missed it. Are we using pre-cut card bases?
We are using the fancy cards from Mintay. So it comes 20 card bases in a pack. Now, it doesn't have to be a card base. It's 12 inches. So if you are a scrapbooker and you need a little border on the edge of your page, this would make a really cool little border too. Anyways, so I'm just sharing how you can use these little card bases to make fun fold cards per se, with a little extra. Okay, so that one is out. Easy enough. And I'll probably give these to Joni to finish. And last, card number 3. Now, this one, I really like this one. It's a gatefold. But look at how, it looks like you spent a lot of time on this one. This was super simple. So, once again, I'll show you how to do the scoring, because this is probably the trickiest one for scoring. Grab my card base. All right, so there I have my decorative edge. And I went and scored, okay, I put the decorative edge in and I lined it up at the,
Need some more space.
I do need more space. I am on camera, right? So they can see me? No, yes. Here. Am I?
No, you are, yeah.
Okay. So I lined
Jan
this.
asked what paper we're using.
We're using pattern papers.
She just said paper.
All right. Pattern papers are Cartabella Winter something. I threw away my little. Nope, there it is. Welcome Winter. Okay. And I just used 2 pieces. So okay, so I'm taking the border edge, and we're going to line that up at 3 inches and score because it's heavyweight. And I did it in my scoreboard, so it was, and then I want to take.
Why are you looking at me?
You get a face. Now
My nose itches.
okay, so this is at 3 inches. And then we want to make sure that this middle is 5.5. So what do you add? 3 plus 5.5 is 8.5. So then we're going to take that score line and line it up at 8.5. Oh.
Yeah, like you're not at 8.5.
And we're going to take our edge and line it up to 8.5. So that will give us, there you go.
You could line your score mark up to 5.5.
You could. All right, so you take your score line and line it up to 5.5, or take your decorative edge and line it up at 8.5. Okay? Does that make sense? And then you want to use your scoring part, not the cutting part. Okay? So now, I'm taking my bone folder.
That's nice heavyweight paper.
It's super heavyweight. It's really nice. And remember, it comes in white and in craft. And it comes in 2 designs. So we have this one and we have a scalloped edge. So boom. And now we have our gatefold. And it overlaps because it is 12 inches long.
Oh, so you could put a magnet in there under a pattern paper too.
You definitely could. Or you could put a little piece of Velcro in there if you wanted to.
But you could work it into a mini album.
You could. Sam is thinking we could work it into a mini album.
We might have to.
We might. Never know. So, there again, I just used...
Christine says that's exactly why I can't use those ones with the cut and a score tool in it.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, I haven't had any issues.
I have to always think about it because otherwise I'm cutting and I'm like, oh crap. But, I mean, you could cut this flap off and then you could have a nice cute little flap this way too.
That'd be fun. Well, this would be cute if you made that a pocket. And then you could stick like a tea bag or something in there, or a gift card.
You could do it that way too. And then you could have something a little bit bigger, or you could add a little gusset here and put like a hot chocolate packet. So, and then a gift card holder, or you can make it into a gift card holder. So, there you go. 3 folds, but you can do it multiple ways.
Christina asked, did you fussy cut the paper to match the decorative base edge?
I did.
Yes. She showed, that was her first thing she did.
That was the first thing I showed in the video, was that I laid, I'm going to just do it on the piece of cardstock over here. But literally, I just laid it along the edge, like so. I showed using a white chalk pencil, but at home I just did it with a pencil and drew around it. So, how's that?
Here's a card.
And then Sam, with the first one that I showed, made a card.
Made a masculine birthday card.
Made a masculine birthday card with our Christmas or winter paper.
Uh-huh.
So,
And our Card Maker's Essential Die Set.
And what is this? Happy
That's
birthday.
Paper Roses.
And Paper Rose's happy birthday.
I love that. Happy birthday.
So, there we go. There we have it. Now, there's no reason why you can't buy those card bases from Mintay. Now you know what to do with them. And literally, it makes them, 50 cents a piece?
I'll make a minute.
20.
For $10, yeah, 50 cents a piece.
50 cents a piece for a nice heavy weight, and it's got that decorative edge on there that and so.
I think this would be fun to work in one meal.
Well, we might have to work on that. So the craft ones are probably my favorite, but like I said at the beginning, we have more white than we had craft, so I went with that because it always seems that we sell out of what we show. So, questions? No. All right.
Cute cards, great cards, Sam. Thanks.
So I'm going to do a special on these guys. Yeah. I think that if you buy both of them, buy one, get the second one half price. Otherwise, it's just going to be 10% off.
Singles.
The singles. All right? So if you buy one, you get that second one 50% off. If you buy just the single, it's just 10% off. How's that?
You have to mention it.
You have to mention that you saw it on a Facebook Live so that the girls know what you're talking about. All right?
And it's while supplies last.
It is, because I don't know that I can get more of these. But once you saw, I'm like, once I did these, I'm like, and my set here, normally, if we run out, I normally sell it. But because I really like these, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have to keep them. I've been doing that a lot lately. It's really bad. It's really bad. So, anyways, I just really like that greenery. And it's like all one piece. I don't have to do a fussy. Multiple cuts. So, all right. Anything else before I go? All right. Then we'll see you on Sunday with a crap ton of stuff.
Yeah, but it's got to be quick because we have trade show Sunday.
Oh, that's right. So Sunday will be like a on a whirlwind. Boom, boom, boom. So, anyways, yeah, because we have trade show. All right. Thanks all for watching. We'll see you on Sunday.